When my son crossed a boundary. That's how the title sounds in the clickbait font, with dramatic music swelling in the background. But let's be honest, it wasn't him who crossed a boundary. It was my husband. My son never did anything wrong. The betrayal came from the two people I trusted the most. My ex-husband, Daniel, and my son's girlfriend, Emily. We were an average American family. I'm Laura, and for 24 years I thought I had a marriage and a family that could withstand anything the world might throw at us. My son Michael was our pride and joy. Bright, funny, creative in his senior year of high school. Emily came into his life sophomore year, so by the time she'd been part of our family for 2 years, I had long since accepted her as part of our household. She was sweet, considerate, a good student, everything a high school parent wants for their child's significant other. We fed her dinner, welcomed her for holidays, dropped her off at parties. She blended seamlessly into our world. I noticed subtle things at first. How she looked at Daniel differently than a girlfriend looks at a boyfriend's dad. Little lingering glances during family game nights. Small gestures. Offering to refill his wine glass, brushing crumbs off his shoulder. I saw it but I dismissed it. It was harmless, right? Just courtesy. What harm could a little extra kindness cause? Then there were phone calls just before bedtime, hushed, she stepping into the hallway to talk. She'd come back blushing or biting her lip. I asked, "Everything okay?" She said, "Just talking about tomorrow's homework." I believed it. I wanted to believe it. It all unraveled on a Wednesday. Typical weekday evening. I was upstairs in my office finishing up freelance work. Some blog edits I'd taken on because our savings were getting stretched thin by Michael's college applications. Downstairs, the lights flickered off momentarily, followed by the usual hum of the air conditioner restarting. I heard Daniel say, "It's probably tripped." Emily replied, "I'll check it," and I heard her footsteps approach. After a pause I heard quiet voices, the tone intimate. "Are you sure?" "Yes, I need this." My chest tightened. I muted my Zoom call and listened as best I could, heart pounding, mind racing. I stormed downstairs moments later. Emily was alone by the fuse box, unaware of my presence. Daniel came around the corner, surprised by my glare. He looked pale. "What is going on?" I demanded. Daniel stammered. An apology escaped his lips, but he tried to blame exhaustion. Emily shut her mouth. That night I pressed them. "Are you saying it's happening?" Daniel nodded. That moment it felt like gravity dropping out under me. All the years, all the trust gone. Just like that. I didn't know who to tell first. My best friend. The school guidance counselor. That night I paced the floor, head swimming with memories. I pictured Michael, handsome, ambitious, kind, on the couch last week, asking Daniel for advice on his college essay. I remembered how Emily laughed when Daniel complimented her cooking at Thanksgiving. I thought of all the times they'd hugged goodbye at the door. My grief felt too big to hold. I decided to tell Michael myself. I sat him down in his sunlit bedroom with its poster-lined walls, where he tested guitar chords at night. He thought something was up when he saw my face. I remember his voice, warm and curious. "Mom, what's wrong?" I told him everything, barely pausing for breath. Told him about the whispers, the confession. Told him how they'd crossed every imaginable line. He went blank. His usual confident composure vanished. For a moment he looked like a little boy. His face wet, posture collapsing. He asked softly, "Mom, did you tell Dad you love me?" Said yes. He asked again, "Did he say the same?" Said yes. He crumbled. The room shrank as he sobbed quietly. So quietly I almost thought nothing was happening. That was the day I saw the irreparable fracture in our family. In the days that followed, the revelations rolled out. Daniel had been meeting Emily behind closed doors, at school events, after group tutoring, on weeknight walks under the streetlights. They said they just talked. They said they were confused. They apologized. They claimed it didn't mean anything. But my son heard everything. He closed the door, crying at times, angry at others. His entire future had tilted sideways. Daniel and I separated within 2 weeks. I told him to move out. He packed his things while I sat across the hall from Michael in the kitchen, both of us too upset to know what to do next. We wrapped our arms around him as he cried into his plate of mac and cheese that night, words too heavy to speak out loud. Michael moved in with his best friend's family while we sorted out logistics. Lawyers, school, college funds. Emily. She stopped answering texts, then moved to another state at her parents' urging. Her social media untagged photos, changed relationship status to single. She disappeared from our world, leaving behind an empty bed. I sat with Michael through evenings of grief counseling, though he insisted he didn't need a counselor at first. He later admitted session by session. He realized trust wasn't something you could rebuild on your own terms. My own tears became exhaustion, nights of pacing, days of silence, weekends of quiet errands. I lost 9 pounds and half my energy, just from the weight of betrayal. Friends asked how I was. I told them, I'm surviving. The exception. A few nights I crashed on the couch, sobbing when I thought no one was watching. That night after Daniel left, I called my grandmother, who'd lost her husband to cancer 10 years earlier. She said, Laura, darling, this pain. It's immense now, but so were you when you loved with your whole heart. You will find your strength again. I believed her. Michael Sr.'s years were overshadowed by whispered judgment in the hallways, rumors about why Emily disappeared, why his dad and ex-girlfriend vanished. He performed on the same crowded stage one final time at graduation. We held our breath as he walked across, tassel swinging. He shook the principal's hand, smiled for a picture. Our eyes met, mine tequila sharp with relief and heartbreak. He winks, those 2 fingers in a peace sign. I wink back. We survived. We can do hard things. Those next months, Michael applied to colleges. He chose a campus across the country. An intentional step toward freedom. Fresh start. Before he left, we had a mother-son weekend road trip. We drove west on Route 66, blasting classic rock, stopping at roadside diners. We talked about his future, his hopes, his fears. One night we sat outside our motel, eating milkshakes. He said, Mom, the cross is always heavy when you carry it wrong. You hung it up. You made me hang it up. That's love. I cried into strawberry ice cream, and he didn't judge me. We let the night cool our tears. Once he left for school, I rented a small apartment across town. It was quiet and mine. I painted the walls soft gray. I filled it with statements of strength. Affirmations, quotes, photos of him. I started a freelance job. I reconnected with old friends. I practiced yoga at sunrise. I fell in love with silent mornings again. The smell of coffee, the hum of the city waking up. I didn't date. The idea felt daunting. I signed up for a hiking meetup and discovered sunsets aren't just for romantic walks. They're for breathing in just because. I found joy in scratched vinyl, thrift store finds, community garden days. Friends said, You're glowing. Maybe I was. Felt